Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 8th. And yesterday I learned about an upcoming right-wing rally in support of the many who were jailed for their part in the insurrection on January 6th. And this rally has been titled Justice for the J6. So when I first saw this, I was upset, a little bit pissed off. And then I realized, why wouldn't this happen? When we had many in our government, congressmen and senators, who were in that building and running for their life as the rioters took over the Capitol. And then they stood up later on and said it was nothing but a normal tourist day. These people were out there. It was a normal tourist day. And some of them had the nerve to accuse Antifa for the events of that day. And 5 people died on that day. But no, it was normal day. So I ask you, when you think about that, and you think about the position that the right-wing supporting GOP members took on that day, why wouldn't there be a rally? It makes perfectly good sense to me. When you have the support of our own government, support from many members of Congress and Senate, why wouldn't you go ahead and have a rally for those who are still in jail for tearing up the Capitol on January 6th? Guess what? This rally is going to take place at the Capitol on Saturday, September 18th. And luckily for these congressmen and senators, they're going to be on recess. So they'll be away from the Capitol. And maybe that's the reason these right-wing lunatics have decided to have that day on September 16th. Because if anything gets out of hand, their supporters won't be around to protect them, and they won't be running for their lives. And when I look back at what happened on January 6th, and I look back at the fact that law enforcement basically ignored the intelligence that had been sent to them, and it took them all day to get the National Guard in to help them out, I am hoping that this time around, law enforcement is paying attention to the intelligence that is being generated by our intelligence community. I hope that we will be ready for this possible second insurrection. I know that they want to ignore that word. Those on the right are ignoring the word insurrection. But I don't know what word you could use to replace this. What took place on January 6th was beyond a riot. It was an insurrection. It is apparent to anybody that's been watching what's going on that this country is still in terrible unrest. In April, a Capitol police officer was killed after a man rammed his vehicle into a police barricade. There was a bomb scare last week. The gentleman held off authorities for 5 hours, and he really didn't even have a bomb. He just threatened to have a bomb. And there are many lawmakers who have invested in body armor. I don't know if any Republicans invested in body armor, but I bet they did, because even though they put on this face that there was nothing going on, I'm sure that they were scared shitless on January 6th. And there have been other incidents like that have taken place that have the Capitol Police on edge. But they have to pay attention to the thing. And they're thinking about fencing off the Capitol for September 18th. And they should go and do that. They shouldn't be messing around and still thinking about these things. And meanwhile, this event is being organized by a former Trump staffer, whose name I have not been able to find anywhere. But I believe it's true that it is a former Trump staffer. And then we all know that there's not enough sane Republicans around to put a stop to this nonsense. And they're probably very happy to be on recess during this whole thing that's going to take place. So there won't be many lawmakers around. And if any of them are in the Capitol, in the city of Washington, right, they probably won't be at the Capitol building for sure, because they don't want to be running for their lives again. So I don't understand why there wasn't such a big fuss, and why many stood up and said this was a regular tourist day, January 6th. Anyhow, they're going to organize the Metropolitan Police Department. They will be fully activated for this day. So the Capitol Police are taking some action to make sure that they don't go through this January 6th again, that people don't die because of this. They'll also be taking any information from people who want to give it. They have been watching and listening very closely to the online extremist rhetoric that is very similar to what happened in the build-up toward January 6th. The January 6th attack on the Capitol. This rhetoric has called for violence linked to conspiracy theories and false narratives. So Homeland Security has been listening to this stuff. And this time they're paying attention. They have claimed that our system is broken, and they plan to take action into their own hands and bring out the gallows. Who are they planning to hang? The squad? Who knows what goes through the minds of these guys? It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. Conspiracy theory is based upon the fact that the presidential election was illegitimate, that Trump was cheated. I'll tell you who was cheated. The American public was cheated for 4 years. The shock was to this group of people that they didn't have enough votes to win the election, and that bothered them. That bothered them terribly. And so now they're calling for violence to rectify the situation. And I am hoping that the Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI and the CIA and everybody is paying attention and ready to take action on September 18th, which I hope is not necessary. Oh, when we look at this country, these are very scary times. We're fighting a pandemic, which has caused a huge split in our population between masking and unmasking and non-vaccinating and vaccinations. So everybody is on edge. Everybody in this country is on edge for some reason or other. And now we have this September 18th event that's liable to take place. And who knows what that may set off with all the bullshit and all the lies that are being spread online and in other media sources. So I tell you, now is the time to reflect and take a deep breath and think about what's going on. And don't get involved in any of these lunatic causes. And I know I'm preaching to the wrong group of people here, but somebody in this country needs to take control of this situation, and we haven't been able to find that person yet. But we need somebody to step up and straighten us out. And I don't know where that's going to come from. I don't know how it's going to happen. All I know is that this is a very bad idea, and we should not be giving a permit to a bunch of people who want to protect those insurrectionists. And I will call them killers, too, because they are the cause of the deaths of 5 people. That's all I have the energy for this morning, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.